And as I mentioned, this can all be found on Canvas as well. But the big thing to take away is understanding what a function is. Okay, and a function is just definition of a function. Definition of a function is it's a relationship such that each input leads to exactly one output. Okay. Each input leads to exactly one output. So the one way I like to think about it is with our inputs, that we think of them as people, and our outputs, we think of them as places. Okay. So for people, let's say we have you, we have me, Mr. Nari, we have Mrs. Lamson, and let's say we have Mr. Crosby. Okay. In terms of places, we could go to, let's say, your house, practice, the library, or to the gym. Okay. I'm going to be using these little paper little things just to figure out where everyone's going. So Jessica, if you go to your house and I go to practice and Mrs. Lamson goes to the library and Mr. Crosby goes to the gym, okay, this would be a function because each input, each person's going to one place, okay? There are no problems here. This is a function. We would see this, well, we'll talk about where we might see this in math, okay? So let me ask you this. Jessica, let's say you went home. I go to the library. Mrs. Lamson goes to the library, and Mr. Crosby goes to the library. Is it possible for all of us to be in the same place at once? Yeah, it is. Okay, it's definitely possible for all three of us to be in the same place at once. And so this is also a function. Okay, it didn't say that each input can go to a unique output. It's saying this goes to one output, and it can be the same one for multiple inputs. That's totally fine. Okay. Now, let's say, Jessica, you go to, I don't know, basketball practice. Okay. And I'm your coach. I coach basketball. Mrs. Lamson goes to basketball. Mr. Crosby goes to the gym. And so right now, your parents think you're at basketball practice, but you decide to skip and go home instead. Okay. Is it possible for you to be in two places at once? No. Okay. So I'll get rid of some of these real quick. Okay. Right now, you can't be in two places at once. So you being at home and being at practice is not possible. Okay. It's not possible. So this would not be a function. This would be a case of one input going to two different outputs. Okay. And so that is how a function works. Let's take a look at it in a math context. Okay. Instead of people and places, we're still going to be dealing with inputs and outputs. Inputs, outputs, but our inputs are going to be X values and our outputs are going to be Y values. Okay. So if we have, let's say 13, 28, 51, and 46, okay, as our inputs, and we have -2, 0, 31, and 15 as our outputs. Okay. They all just go straight across, doesn't matter how nonsensical it might be. This is a function. No problems. The same deal if 13, 21, 51, and 46 all go to 2. Still a function. Okay. The only place where it gets to be a problem is when like 46 goes to multiple places. This is not a function. Okay. So let's just show something quick. Our people places, it is possible for multiple people to be in the same place, but they don't all have to be in the same place. This is a function. But if we have 13 going to 2 different places and everywhere else going to a single place, this is not a function. Okay. So we can even take a look at this in terms of ordered pairs, or like, let's say a table, something like X, Y, and we have 4, 4, 0, 2, 1. Okay. If we have 4, 4, 0, 2, 1, and we have 3, 5, 7, 6, 3. Okay. Is this a function? Well, our single input of 4 has 2 different outputs. Okay. Whenever we put in 4, we should get the same thing out each time. And so if you see 4 or any X value being repeated, the Y values better be the same. Okay. Otherwise, this is not a function. Okay. So you look at something similar. X, Y, 3, 3, 0, 0, 2. Okay. We have 6, 6, 5, 5, 9. 6, 6, 5, 5, 9. This is a function. Same input here, which is the same output here. So that's not a problem. Again, that happens again. 0 goes to 5, 0 goes to 5 again. So this is a function. Is a function. Okay. So that's really similar to what we have going on up here, except now instead of having 13 going to different places, we've written 13 or 3 in this case multiple times. All right. We have one more thing to go over, and it's called the vertical line test. Vertical line test. The vertical line test tells us if any vertical line intersects the graph in 2 or more points, it is not a function. It is not a function. Okay. Let's take a look at a couple different graphs. Start with a pretty basic curve here. Now, as a vertical line, I'm just going to use the back of this Post-it. Okay. And we're going to use Post-it to represent basically all vertical lines. Just by moving it over, we can see all the vertical lines. Something to take note is that our axes do not count. They don't count. Instead, we're just looking just at this curve. So in this case, a vertical line is only intersecting the curve in one spot, 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 one spot the whole time. Therefore, this is a function. Okay. Is a function because our vertical line is only intersecting in one spot. Okay. Whether we go from the left or the right doesn't matter. So we're at one spot, 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 one. It's 2 spots. And so even though it was one spot, only one point all the way over here, it doesn't matter. It says if any vertical line. And so this one intersects right here and right here. Therefore, it is not a solution. Or sorry, not a function. not a function. Okay, we'll do one more. Something like, okay. In this case, we have a vertical line intersecting at 3 points. So is it a function? No. We know it's not because it says 2 or more points. And so 3 is more than 2. This is not a function. Okay. All right. Last example, then I'm going to let you go. We have something along the lines of this. Okay. Use a vertical line, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Ooh, I'm not sure. Well, in this case, our vertical line is intersecting here, and here, and here, and here, and everywhere along this little vertical spot here. Okay. So it's not just intersecting 2 or 3, it's intersecting all of the points here. Okay. So this would also not be a function. Vertical lines are not functions. And that's it. Okay. There's another video on Canvas that does not go over this stuff, so you still need to watch that. But the second video, I think it says video lesson 115, is what we just went over here.
Thank you.
Thank you.